Hi, I had an idea for a topic on my way to work today, and I figured I'd better video a little bit of it before I forget what it was. So, decluttering is something that is on everybody's minds, and I am 60, headed towards retirement, hopefully in 5 years. And I don't want one of the things on my list of things to do as I retire to be minimalizing and decluttering. I want to get that started. Actually, in our house, we started about 3 years ago, and I told my husband I wanted to declutter as if we were moving. And you wouldn't believe how much stuff you can get rid of if you think you're moving. So that means you don't need what you have in your current location if you're going to move and you can leave it behind. So we both started to see what we could just get rid of off the top of things. And then we dug a little deeper and we just went crazy. We had the hugest yard sale I've ever had. We usually have a yard sale every summer, but this was huge. And we made a good amount of money and we put that towards paying our taxes that year. And it was good all around. I cleared out a lot in my house and basement. My husband tackled his garage. And we just went crazy. And since then, we've actually been doing smaller projects here and there. And we vowed never to have another yard sale after that one. So we just donate, or in our area, we can put things by the side of the road and people come and pick things up. They're happy to have free things. But we've just been making short little, little time to get the next thing organized. I've done a couple of videos on here. I went through tote bags and I went through blankets. I tend to declutter in categories. I don't tackle room by room necessarily. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I just say, all right, I need to sort my silverware drawer and get rid of the extra knives, which I did that recently. But I like the topic or the decision to maybe use it as if we were moving, because it really puts a mindset on you that you don't need a lot of the stuff. If you were to go to a smaller house and downsize, what would you bring? And I just decided I want to get that done. When I am fully retired, I do not want that hanging over my list of things to do. So if you have any decluttering plans for retirement or just for any time, just get started. Do little bits at a time and you'll be surprised how much adds up. And you get a lot done before you know it. So I mentioned that I give things away or donate, but I also have learned about Facebook Marketplace, and we have done really well getting rid of some of our larger items that way. Things that we don't want to just give away because there's monetary value, and of course we want to recoup whatever we can. I don't try to sell dishes and things like that, but my husband has figured out that he can make a pretty good profit on some of his tools. And he doesn't just have a garage attached to a house type of garage. He's got, I think it's a 30 by 50 shop attached to a barn, and then he's got another shop. I'll do a video this summer with all of our outbuildings, because on our 9 acres, we really have a lot of buildings, which has become a problem living in the same place for 25 years. We have collected a lot of things, but we're both in our 60s and we realized some of the hobbies we thought we were going to do and some of the projects that we thought we were going to get to, we're just not. And we're trying to be realistic, and we can't believe how much lighter we feel in our brains, really, just having less clutter. We feel more relaxed. It's not as stressful when you just don't have the clutter around. And like I was saying, just declutter a little at a time, and it's not overwhelming. And if you're looking for ways to declutter, there's a lot of people on here that have talked about decluttering and the different styles. There's the Marie Kondo method. I think she's the one that you have to spark joy. And then there's the Swedish death cleaning, which is kind of the thing that got me started on decluttering, because I have a 30-year-old son and he has already said, Mom, I don't want your stuff. And I have already inherited my parents' stuff. They're both still alive, but my mom had my sister and I kind of sort through things and divide things up already. So now I have boxes and boxes in my basement of things that used to be my mom's. And it can snowball if you're not careful. So I also want to go through that stuff. And I have the idea of, if I'm storing it away, What am I storing it for? Who am I storing it for? My son doesn't want it. I don't need it. I don't use it. I'm going to get rid of it. I do have a little bit of guilt going through the things from my mom while she's still alive. So that's going to kind of stay and maybe be one of my last projects I get to. But if you feel a little overwhelmed or have the slightest idea that you should declutter, then just get started. Tiny steps. Don't look at the big picture. That can be overwhelming. Take one little area, take 10 minutes, give yourself 15 minutes to a half hour and just say, I'm going to clean this out. And you'll be surprised what happens. You kind of get in the mood to do it. And before you know it, you've spent an hour. And then you kind of like the progress. And the next day you might just do it again. So get out there and get your decluttering started. Do not save that as something you do when you retire. Clear out all your stuff now so that retirement is less stressful.